Hey guys, welcome to a special behind the scenes episode of Kurtzky's Garage. In the background, you can see my 1988 Porsche 911 Cabriolet, and it is being filmed by my friend and fellow YouTuber. Where is he? He's over behind, where is he? He's flying the drone, Gary the Car Nut. Gary's doing a great job putting together his shows about performance car ownership. I was on his podcast, I guess it was a couple of months ago, our first conversation, and today we're actually doing the video footage of the 911. So Gary's got his drone out and he's taking some beauty shots of it. We did some runs of the car driving up and down the street and some exhaust note sounds, all that fun stuff. I think you're going to have a blast watching it. And on the way home, I'm going to do a driving impressions video of the 911. So stay tuned for all that. We've got a lot more coming up on Kurtzky's Garage. That's Gary the Car Nut right there. That's Gary's drone. Hey guys, Gary did an awesome job with his drone, taking all the overhead shots. Now he's going to work on some beauty shots of the interior, but I wanted to do my own walk around with my camera. So really cool. I haven't driven this car in quite some time, and I think that's going to change. I forgot how much I miss it and how much I enjoy driving it. Found a few things I wanted to correct. I did wheel bearings on the front wheel bearings on this car probably 7 or 8 years ago. I'd like to go back and tighten them or just make sure they're in proper adjustment. And just feeling a little extra road play, and some of the hum hasn't entirely disappeared, so perhaps I just didn't set them up right. And I am getting a little bit of smoking on the passenger side, so I suspect rocker cover gaskets are in order. Not a big deal. That's something that I can actually do at home. Don't need to take that to anybody. But otherwise, this car is running beautifully. It's just a little handcrafted jewel. I think that's what I love about the 911s. Well, you know, I only have experience with the early ones, you know, this being a 1988, but I think that's what I really like with these cars. They're just little jewels. So one of the jobs I didn't spend a lot of time showing you, because I thought it would be pretty straightforward, is installing a hood pad on the W126. So I went ahead and got the Mercedes part, and I think it really is shared between the 126, maybe the 124, and even the 129. So you do have to trim it to fit your car. Not a big deal. I attached it to the hood with 3M Super 77 spray adhesive, and it didn't quite hold, specifically right in the middle of the hood, where the engine sits, right dead center in the car. So I went ahead and I bought 3M Super 90. This is maximum strength, and it's high heat too, apparently. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in as a fix. Some of the hood pad is sagging, no big deal. And by the way, you're going to get to see another little addition that I did to the car, and that is a new grille. So why don't you have a look at that right now? So that new grill comes from overseas, I think Taiwan. I'd have to check the paperwork. They call that the Avant-Garde. Basically, it's an ABS black plastic, and it's got a few more horizontal lines. And that whole grill assembly was cheaper than any other option. So that's actually a pretty easy thing to do, as you can see, and we're going to let that sit. I think it will hold nicely, and if it needs a little bit of further attention, I'll come back with this 3M Super 90 adhesive and we'll get it done. Hey, welcome to the garage. I wanted to share a quick update with you on the W126 300 SEL engine bay. Few things have been done, and I think it looks really cool. The detailing, I've been using the Griot's Garage engine bay dressing. It's a spray-on, almost like a mist consistency, and it gives everything under the hood a really nice sheen. Now, in the case of my car, there's a lot of, corrosion on some of the plated parts and whatnot. I don't think those are going to come back, and it's not a show car. So there's a point where you have to be reasonable about the time and money invested in this. And I think with this Griot's Garage product, there's a nice balance. Maybe it was 10 or 12 bucks for the can. I can't quite remember, but again, that came from Pro Detailing Supplies, not surprise. Well, the surprise was how nice it looked. Pro Detailing Supplies in the Toronto area. So what I want to show you are a couple of things that I have done. I got a new sticker set for underhood stuff. So there's decals for on the engine air cleaner and a couple of other things across the radiator support. They look really sharp. It's just kind of a nice way to bring some life back under hood. And I had the air cleaner cover repainted, and it's the brightest, shiniest, most awesome looking thing under hood. So we're just going to take a walk over. I'll show you those things, and you can see for yourself. I got a little part here that we're going to put in to dress up the interior. And what is that part? Well, it's the burled, or not burled, it's the Zebrano wood gear shift knob. So installing it is actually very, very simple. So just turning this around, you could see that I removed that console veneer and the bin that has the seat warmer switches. That comes out next. And then you've got 2 snaps here. Work those out very, very carefully, and you'll likely have to move the gear shift back in order to disconnect that snap. Once that's out of the way, it's nothing more than a bolt here. So you can see that I was able to finagle getting this entire shift mechanism. This is actually what holds the gear shift in place, you know, from on a left to right basis. I was able to get that out of the way, and it is in fact a 15 millimeter. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything removed, and while everything is apart, I'm going to clean this guy. It's absolutely filthy. I'll detail the whole thing. So sometimes it's a case of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Taking apart the shift quadrant, the actual, you know, PRNDL segment on the shifter, the clear plastic window broke. Let me show you. That's this piece. It snapped. But it looks terrible, and it doesn't clean up anyway. So I think this piece has probably lived its useful time. So what I'm going to do is reassemble it without that plastic glass. And I think it actually looks pretty good. It's taken a lot of years off the look of this. So I'm gonna go back and get this thing mounted in, and I'll show you how it looks when it's all together. Okay, so I'm not calling this a complete victory, although from a cosmetic standpoint, I can see how nice it looks and how much I need to replace the veneer in the center console. But the gear shift knob is installed. I think it's sitting a little too low, and it's interfering with the shift quadrant, so I've got to raise it. Looks good, but we're not quite done yet. Yeah, I think that gear shift is just a little too low. At any rate, I'll fix it, not a problem. I love the way it looks, and obviously now I've got to do something with the center console veneer. That's July's problem, or maybe later this month, who knows. Thanks for joining me.